My name is David Isaac, and I'm with First Weekend February out here in London, covering the influence of American football here in Europe. And I have the pleasure of standing here today with head coach Neil Edwards of the London Olympians, and they're an amateur organization here.
We are.
Okay.
We are.
Yeah, London Olympians. And tell me a little bit about the organization of the Olympians and who they are.
Well, as you said, we're an amateur organization. We're currently actually fortunate to be in the elite half of the league in England at the moment, which means there's like 12 teams currently there. We play a quite high-level competitive league, even though we are amateur. Currently in England, where we're not allowed to pay players. But you do find that we do manage to produce some real high-level football here. And the game is really exciting. We currently get on my team, especially, we get around 50 to 60 players. Regularly attending practice. The guys really do love the game.
That's great. Now, football here in England specifically. Now, you guys, your schedule is usually during the spring. Am I correct?
That's right.
You guys play usually from like February to.
Well, we start practice usually around about January. In our preseason practices, the season actually kicks off in April. So April to August, September. Now, really, because of the weather, unfortunately, we try to get it during the kind of spring to summer. I know a lot in America it's usually the opposite. They play during the winter months, but it gives us that time to watch the football anyway on TV.
Well, you know, in college, we would start in January. And I remember it would be like January 2nd. That's when we would start getting ready for our spring practices. And in spring we would have, basically the NCAA allows us to have 15 practices in the spring, and like 15 practices full pads. In the spring, and then we have the summer to basically do our own training. Then we come back in August. So that's really cool. So yeah, tell me a little bit about the league. How many teams are there in the league?
Well, I mean, in England we have. You'd probably be surprised to know we have quite a lot of teams, because we have obviously you have youth. We have women's football, flag football. We've got university football, and then we have what I'm involved in is senior level football. So you've got Division 3, Division 2, Division 1, the senior level, elite level.
And you're at the elite level. So Division 3, Division 2, Division 1, and then you're at the elite level. That's awesome.
So in total, there's quite a few teams, but just in the Premier level, the elite level, there's say 10 teams. 10 teams. And then you have a relegation thing. Teams come up, teams go down.
Sure. Now, so you're head coach. That's awesome.
I am.
How do you enjoy the responsibility of being head coach? Because you know, if those players mess up out there in the streets of London, you're the problem. You know what I mean? You're the problem.
Well, that's partly why I think I've found myself getting back into football. I was a player just like them. I was a player. After my playing days, I'm done with football. I thought I had a really good career, even as an amateur, semi-professional. I was stayed away from football, and you see the young guys get up to trouble sometimes, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come back. Give these young guys a purpose. I found me as a growing adult. It really gave me to have a purpose, get to practice, keep my body in shape, and have a purpose. I think giving these young adults a purpose is really good for them, especially in this day and age.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome, Coach. Tell me a little bit about your personal career. You grew up playing the game. You heard about the game one day?
I mean, almost literally like that.
Okay.
It was, well, we're going back to like, what, 1985.
Okay.
Watching football on TV. This is back when the Chicago Bears was the all the rage.
Okay.
Yeah,
Chicago Bears.
The fridge.
Yeah. Oh yeah. William Perry.
Exactly. Everybody was watching on TV.
Yeah.
And to my surprise, it was starting to build over here, but it was very low level.
Sure.
How I actually got into it is a friend told me about it, you know, and said, hey, these guys, they play American football. Oh, really? That game on TV?
Right. Went
down to the park, and we literally didn't even have pads back then.
Okay.
Yeah, we just, in our tracksuits, running around, throwing the ball around. And it literally, a former Texas native just happened to be walking past and saw us and said, "Are you guys interested in football?" You know, I used to coach back in the day, play back in the day. Yeah, let's get a team going. Yeah, and that was the start of my very first team, which was the Finsbury Park Stallions.
What's it called?
Finsbury Park Stallions.
Finsbury Park Stallions.
You know, they don't exist anymore. All right. But, that's going back quite some time. Okay. And funny enough, I took to it like a duck to water. Yeah. And I got better and better. I actually had never really been, I'd always done a bit of sports. Right. But I don't think I ever had found a sport that was me. Okay. You know, that brought out something inside me. Right, right. And after playing football, getting into football, I realized I'd found something. That was for me. This game was for me. Yeah. You know, and I instantly fell in love with it. Yeah. You know, I went on and played with actually the team I'm the head coach for now, the London Olympians. Right. I played for them for many years. We won. We went a 10-year championship run. Wow. And I was fortunate enough to then be able to go off to play around the rest of Europe as an import player. Okay. And get paid for what I loved doing. I returned back to London. Right. I continued playing here. Won several more championships, and then that was it for me. I think I had done it as much as I could at the time. So I had about 5 or 6 years hiatus from the sport. Yeah. You know? And then I eventually got back into it through coaching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's funny because when I finished playing at the end of college, I had played for about 10 years. Yeah. And I just needed to get away from the game for a little while, just to like regroup myself and just kind of reformulate things. But that's really cool. And so now throughout the season, so we've got we're here in October, so your guys are going to start getting ready in January. Now, do you keep in contact with them, kind of to keep them in check and make sure they're working out and not eating McDonald's?
That's exactly where I find myself now. Like we, these are young men. They've got, some of them. When the season finishes, they go back to university. They go back to their wives and girlfriends and life as we know it, And as you said, it is an amateur sport for us here at the moment. But I want these guys to be able to be successful, so I do stay on them. We have track sessions at the weekend, combined gym sessions. Yeah. Most of the guys are able to regularly come. Some could come a bit more often, but you know how it is. The guys are good. Their love of the sport keeps them going. Right. Their love of the sport keeps them going.
Right. That's great. That's great. I mean, that's what it takes. And how about American football in some of the schools and universities? Is it making its way that far in?
Funny enough, it's starting to now feature a little bit more at school level. Okay. Primary, secondary level. You're getting a lot more kind of groups, maybe teams, going into schools and saying, look, this is American football. We'd like to show it to your kids. Right. University is over the last, say, 10 years. It's really, really sprung up. Like the league and university. I mean, I think for the first time, American football has now been opened up to the masses, I'd say, through the university leagues. Right. I had my reservations at first because, before it was like, in my day it was more like the best of the best of the best were
Sure.
playing the sport.
Sure.
But, you know, even I've opened my mind to say, you know, I love the game of American football and I want it to be open to the masses.
Right.
And now, you know, they have open days, you know, at universities, and everybody can come and play. You know, you have about a month to teach these guys that sometimes have never played football before.
Right, right.
You know, only seen it on TV, and now they're able to go out and put on their helmets and pads and start playing the game.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
you know, and those, you know, that just do it for a bit of fun, and then you get guys that say, oh, I wanna do a bit more, and then they get introduced to the, you know, the senior leagues, and they come to me.
Right, right.
And
okay.
I make them real football players.
Right, right. That's awesome. That's awesome. Tell me a little bit about what you've seen growing up here in London. I take it you're born and raised in London?
I am.
Okay. Growing up in London and the influence of the NFL here in London, what you've seen on TV.
Well, with the obviously with this the London games, it's been it's been really for me especially. I'm actually a Jags fan.
Giants fan?
Jags.
Oh, you know, I'm from New York. I heard Giants, you know, even though we're having a tough time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we're going to have to get you to the game, Jaguars-Eagles.
Yeah. So, being a Jags fan, it's been perfect for me. An opportunity to go to regular games.
Right.
I do try to go to at least one game every year.
Right.
You know, but, you know, when you go there, as you have seen this weekend just gone, 84,000 people, you know, from all around Europe. You know, the Europeans are falling in love with this game.
They really are.
Yeah.
They really are. I couldn't believe how many fans I saw from all over. I mean, there was people from Germany and people from Spain and Ireland, and it's the popularity of the game has really taken off out here.
It has.
And so, well, thanks a lot, Coach. I really appreciate it, and good luck with the season this next year, and you know, I wish you the best in your career as a head coach, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right.